What is up, everybody? We are rolling audio here today on episode 35 of The Hotter Show. How you doing? I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day so far. Thank you so much for tuning in and clicking that play button on the fourth ever kind of hanging out interview-esque podcast here on The Hotter Show, in which I sit down and have an awesome about 2 hour long conversation with my buddy Mr. Simard from Fear the Unknown, the rhythm guitar player from Fear the Unknown. It is an absolutely awesome conversation. We talk about how we met, a little bit about gigs music. We talk about his time at gigs as a co-op and so forth. A couple funny stories about that. We talk about kind of what got him into playing guitar, a lot of his influences, some of his favorite bands, and of course we talk a little bit in this episode about kind of the forming of Fear the Unknown and all that kind of thing. In part 2 of this podcast with Mav that will be going up this upcoming Sunday here, we get into a whole bunch of other stuff. We talk about local bands, more about the band, just music in general. We definitely focus most of the conversation on that. At the end, we kind of do talk a little bit of wrestling, but that is just kind of how she goes. I think Matt was a great guy. I think he was a really great guest on the podcast. Didn't, pull any punches or anything. He was open to talk about anything. So it was really, really a great time. He talked a little bit also about Fear the Unknown's newest album that's going to be coming out very soon. So be sure to follow them on Facebook to keep up on that. You just type in Fear the Unknown. They'll pop right up. I will be sure to link them in this podcast, of course, on Facebook and that as well. Definitely going to be an awesome album from what he explained about it. But I will let him explain more in just a moment. Before we get into it here, I just, of course, want to give a big shout out to my man, Mr. Jason Reese, over at Jaybird Digital Arts for everything he's done for the podcast. Jason, thank you so much for the logos and everything, the banners, and all that kind of wonderful stuff. You guys know if you need anything digital art related, if you need logos, you need album cover designs, you need anything like that at all, advertising, banners, pages, anything like that, Jason is your man. Tell him I sent you. He will hook you up. Very, very awesome guy. Does awesome work for a great price. You can find him, of course, online at www.jaybirddigitalarts.ca. That's www.jaybird.com. Without further ado, I am going to just plug into this podcast here with Mav. Like I said, it was a great podcast. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to be on the lookout for part 2. And as always, be sure to share this with any of your friends. I think it's an awesome conversation. And again, hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to let me know what you guys think of it in the comments and so forth, depending on what medium you are listening to. Enough babbling on with me, guys. Let's get into this podcast with Mav. Alright, so I'm here, sitting at my kitchen table. I got my whole fucking rig out here in front of me. I got my goddamn mixer, my brand new Behringer U4 UM2 laptops here. I got 2 mics running. Got my water here. Got my phone here. Got some notes here. I'm sitting here hanging out because I'm just about to get into a podcast. Obviously. With this man sitting to my left. I'm on his right, he's on my left. And, what can I tell you about this guy? Well, he's got a pretty epic beard, nice shirt, he's got camo shorts on, some knee-high socks, nice fit for a king hat. This gentleman is known to most of you as the rhythm guitarist of a very awesome local band who are just kind of putting the finishing touches, I think, on their EP. Hopefully will be out sometime. Be sure to harass the shit out of them to get that out because the world needs it. You will know him as that. You may also know him if you were a customer of Gigs Music. He was a co-op there for a little while as well. So we got a whole bunch of bullshit to talk about. We're just going to dive into this here. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time for the next little while that we're going to be hanging out with, Simard.
Hey, TJ. Thanks for having me. It's
a
fun time. I'm stoked to do this. I know we've been playing it for a while. It'll be tight.
Yeah, but like 6 months.
Yeah.
How long have I been doing the podcast? We've been planning this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just can't, sometimes you just can't get around to it.
Yeah, shit happens. But so right off the bat, very professional. It's funny because I always say to people when I do these, it's like when I did Brandon's episode there, I gave him this intro and he's just like, "That's a big intro just for me," and I'm like, he's like, "Dude, like it's just Brandon." Like I'm just sitting here and I'm like, "Yes, it's Mav," but it's like it's just Mav. Like fuck it. What are you doing? You
gotta sell me,
like
man.
yeah. Basically, that's what I have to. People have tuned in today to hear you. And if they haven't tuned in because they're a fan of your band or because they like the show, they're tuning in to be entertained and because they're interested in what's going on.
Yeah.
So hopefully we talk about some interesting shit. Because if not, they're going to tune out right quick. But that is what it is. So, but usually with these hanging out podcasts here, I like to start off with some random bullshit questions. This is not an interview. I like to always stretch that. I'm not going to sit here with Mav and go, "So Mav, what inspired you to write the song Glass House?" It's just not going to happen. But
to answer your question, it was the Backstreet Boys.
That's what I figured.
Honestly, I'm a big Backstreet Boys fan.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I never knew that.
Yep.
Mav Simard, for the unknown, big Backstreet Boys fan.
The more you know.
The more you know, kids. See, I wish I had a soundboard because I just clipped that in right there. Anyway, so usually I like to start these off with how I met the individual who I'm hanging out with and kind of how we know each other and so forth. So I guess if you want to tell the story of I guess we know each other. We would not have met if it was not for Gigs Music in any way, shape, or form. I would not have met a lot of people.
Yeah. So
I guess if you want to tell the story from your perspective of the first time you came into Gigs Music and so forth, I guess is the
my friend Tim Sear, he was walking. I met him probably one of the first couple of days of high school in grade 9, and I don't know, he's just like, "Yo, I want to stop by the music store like on the way back." I was like, "Okay, cool." Like I was new to this part of Bowmanville, right? I never really been down to it, and we stopped in Gigs Music, and I saw these really sweet guitars like this. I think it was a George Lynch signature LTD.
Yeah,
on
the LTD
wall
signature
with the yellow stripes and stuff.
The yellow stripes. Oh, was it the? It was because there was two we had. There was one that was like a distressed. It was like the flashy yellow one with the single humbucker.
The cheetah print.
Yeah, the cheetah, the leopard print.
Yeah, I just remember holding it and going, "Wow, this is a lot heavier." And I looked at you and said that, and you went, "Oh yeah, it was real heavy, yeah, man." I was like, "Nice." And then I think that was the only thing I said that day. And the next day I came in, we talked a little bit more, and I was playing this Explorer, and I was wrongfully accused of scratching it.
See, I wasn't in that time. That wasn't me. Because when you came in, I remember that. Let me set the scene for you here. So we got Mav, grade 9 Mav.
Hey.
Comes in.
Hey,
what's up, guys? Comes in with his, like you had like your like shorts on and your Metallica t-shirt, your hat was back, total baby face Mav. Like, and I'm not talking about the wrestling good guy. Like total baby face. You're just like, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And like talking all this like metal with me. And of course, at the time, like I was still part-time. So I was kind of like, when I would have certain, like some kind of kids that would come in, like they'd just like talk and then they'd be like, all right, bye. And I was kind of like, I'm kind of getting sick of this. I'm not going to lie. After a little while, I learned to absolutely love it. And that was my favorite part about it. But at first, it's like, so Mav comes in and, man, the first, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a good kid. And you were like showing me like your Slayer belt buckle.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, check out this sick belt buckle.
Lift
like,
my entire gut up to show you.
Yeah, you're just like, hang on. It's so good. You just like lift it. You're like, there you go, fam, check it out.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool, whatever. And so.
And I came in the next day with a different Slayer belt buckle.
Yeah. And what happened was, I know Rob was there because it wasn't me. Because I was not there. I heard about it the next day. I guess Mav came in, he sat down, was playing the Explorer, and I guess Rob told you to like unclip your belt so your belt buckle wouldn't scratch the guitar, right?
Yeah,
so you're like, yeah, no problem, fam, no problem. And you always did that. You were good with that. Mm-hmm. So I guess when you were getting ready to leave, Rob like picked up the guitar or something and was like, what the fuck? The scratches on the back of this now. You got to buy this.
It was, I came in, I think he found out about it or.
Oh, was it maybe a later day?
Oh. because I remember coming in later and he said, "Don't play that guitar." I went, "What?" He goes, "You scratched it in the middle," and it would the part where it was scratched was like where it would rest on my leg.
Yeah, no, it was not you who scratched it. I told him, I was like, Rob, that wasn't him, dude. That guitar always had those scratches on it. Like,
Yeah.
I understand why he would think it was you, but I was like, dude,
Just
it
some
wasn't him.
random
man. Like,
kid,
come
yeah.
on, dude. Like, just some kid who comes in to play the guitar all the time and leaves. Like, he's just like, man, look at that. Go, Rob. But
Yeah. He means well.
Yeah, oh yeah, he means well. But that was your introduction into gigs music. But really, what's
Not the most graceful.
yeah, not the most graceful. Well, really, what got it for me is I always say to people, you were the first like kid, quote unquote, that I like actually like started like talking to, and like it was you and Luke Perrin actually, which is kind of funny.
Oh, really?
Like I haven't like Luke came in randomly and we were just like shooting the shit, and he was like, "Yo, like you should like everyone should come in here," but it was
Your first advertisement.
he was like my first advertiser. He like took a bunch of cards and took them to the school and stuff. And he's a good guy. I miss him. I haven't talked to him in a while. But you came in the one day, and like I think it was when I was like you've been in a few times. I was kind of like starting to warm up to you. And I was like starting to work more too.
Right.
And like I think one day like you were like I don't remember what riff you were playing. You were playing a Slipknot riff. I know that.
Oh, it was definitely psychosocial.
Was it like I think you were sitting there. You were like dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like you started playing that. I started like singing it or something.
Something like that.
I was just like, I did my time, and like,
and I want out.
yeah, and I want out.
It was
So
probably that.
pissed. Sorry, I love that fucking song.
That's all good.
And like you're just like, dude, like so like we started like talking fucking like meddling stuff and.
Can we just become best friends?
Yep.
Do you want to do karate in the garage?
Do you want to do karate in the garage? But that was kind of how the whole thing started. And you started coming in, and you would always come in and be like, "Yo, dude, like check out this riff." And like, you know, I'm like, like look at this kid with his riffs and shit. And, you know,
Hey, I learned Raining Blood like the rest of the population.
yeah, dude, I learned Raining Blood. Check it out. Dun, 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 dun. And like as slowly time progressed, you would come in and you'd be like, "Yo, check out this riff," and then like you play it, and I'm like, "Oh, this kid's getting pretty good." Like
Nice.
you're like the first one. I like kind of like almost like over the 3 years we were there, I kind of like watched progress and like grow up in a way. Mm-hmm. I got all sentimental about it.
Yeah.
Because it's like I was like, but like it's Mav, man.
He
I got
was my
soft
first
spot.
not born child.
He's my first not born child of the shop. There's all these like kids, you know, that like I'll like see them now, and I'm like, dude, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like you, Allie.
Oh, Allie is
Zach.
huge difference.
Yeah, well, it's like I remember you said. I think I tagged you in it not that long ago. It was a video of you, Mav, Nathan,
Me and Mav.
So yeah, you and Mav. Sorry, you and Allie, Nathan.
Oh, Connor Steele.
Yeah, Connor.
and-
That was it,
yeah.
Connor. Sorry, I couldn't remember his name. And you guys were jamming Avenged Sevenfold.
We actually released that 3 years ago today.
Seriously, was it today?
Yep, I got notified on Facebook.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's sick. Because that was like the first time that like there was like a kid, quote unquote, that I was like, cool. Like that's sick. And I mean, you like tagged me on Facebook. Yeah, like, yeah, dude. Like check it out. This is our like thing, and let me know what you think, man. Like let me know what you think about the band. I was just kind of like, cool. I played it cool. Like I was like, yeah, it's cool, bro.
You played the cool guy, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like the music store dude, and I have to be all cool. But deep down, I'm like, yo, these kids have got it. Like these kids are gonna go places. And so it's just funny looking back now. People always like, yo, so like, I can't remember who was I talking to. I think it was like not this past battle of the bands, but the first battle of the bands you guys played.
Just last year.
Yeah. I'm going all over the place with this, but there's a point to this. I'm trying to emphasize something. And you guys, you went up and played, and I was still in true, you know, you and my co-op at the time too. We'll get to that in a minute. You're there up on stage. I'm like, that's Mav. Like, little Mav with his belt buckle. You know, like I'm like remembering when you first walked in. And I'm sitting there and you're playing, and I'm like, that's Mav. Like, fucking guy. Whatever, fucking guy. And like Cody's up there shredding, and I'm like, it's Cody. Like, you know. And then like kind of like Cody, like he's doing his thing, and I'm like, holy shit, like it's Cody. Like, damn. And I didn't really know the other guys that well, but like I'm still just like fucking Mav, you know, whatever.
Or whatever. He's just
Then fucking Glass House comes, right? Mav takes center stage. Spotlight on Mav. And I'm like, holy shit, it's Mav. Like,
It was a
like,
big moment.
yeah, it like clicked. I was like, damn, son, like, this is not the little fat kid who came in with his fucking belt buckle talking about nothing but, oh, yo, check out this sick riff I learned. And then he's playing Seek and Destroy or whatever, like the first intro riff.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, like, this kid is like grown up in front of you. You remember what happened?
Spotlight was definitely very bright. That's what I remember about that moment.
I remember I couldn't see shit.
Exactly.
But do you remember what happened when you got off stage? Right after you got off stage?
You were standing there and gave me a high five and a bro hug.
Yeah, I was just like, yo, come here, motherfucker, give me a hug.
Yeah.
Because I was
You
all like,
put your hand up for a handshake. You went, nah, fuck that. And you put
fuck
your
that,
hand
bro hug,
Yeah.
hug. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is during my time at Gigs Night, there was all these like people I like knew and kind of like watched. We were only there for 3 years. So in that span, watching someone who like you, like in grade 9 to then grow.
Yeah.
What?
I was telling you my grade 11.
Oh, you're grade. Oh, fucking goddamn! I didn't even know that.
Well, when we played Battle of Bands last
When you played
year.
Battle of the Bands, you were grade 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, if there's anything like that, you just throw it in. You don't have to worry about like edit the shit out or whatever.
Okay.
None of that stuff. But when it comes to talking with you and that, obviously we have to talk about your time at gigs as a co-op student.
Of course, yeah.
Obviously,
It was a big time of my life.
that was a big time in my life too, because you were one of the last co-op students I had. Like as far as like the last batch, there was 3 of you, but
Yeah.
you were in that last batch of the co-op students I had, and during that time period, that was when I was pretty much just ready to start pulling my hair out.
Yeah.
Because I was getting so frustrated with all this stuff, and not frustrated necessarily with like with the job. I love the job and everything.
You're
but
just frustrated with the fact that you had a co-op wearing a man bun every day.
shit. He said it. All right. So, do you remember your interview for co-op?
Actually, I was thinking about it quite a lot yesterday because I had another interview for a school thing, and I was just trying to relate to it a lot.
Yeah.
I remember how nervous I was when I first was just walking there. I actually was changing my clothes while I was walking down the street to the interview.
I just picture you walking down the street like fucking.
Straight up down King Street.
Yeah.
I was walking down the side that Gigs was on, and I'm changing my clothes, buttoning up the shirt,
Seriously?
and putting the vest over top of it to keep it metal.
Oh shit! I remember you like walking and you had like your button-up shirt on, like the vest. I was like, really? Because didn't you think your interview was gonna be with Rob?
Yeah.
And you like walked in and you're like, yeah, what's up? And I'm just like, yeah, what's up, guys? So, like, I'll be with you in a minute. And you're like, wait, what? Like, you're doing the interview? I'm like, yeah, dude. Fucking, who'd you think was gonna do it? I thought Rob was going to. No, it's me. Oh shit! And
Yeah.
I was like, take those stupid shirts off. Like, I'm just like,
Yeah, you look at me, you're like, you're classy, but metal at the same time.
classy but metal. I
Belt
like
buckle's
it.
still there. Brandon, nice Lamb of God shirt. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I remember kid walks in and he has his Lamb of God shirt on. And he has his button-up shirt, but it's like just barely not buttoned up enough that
Just
I can
so
still
you
see
can see
I can
Lamb
see like
of
the
God.
top of the Lamb of God logo.
It's
and I'm
like
like,
to tease you a little bit
yeah.
so that he gets the kudos and still can pass as dressed appropriately.
exactly. Like he's just like, yeah, I'm classy. And his hair was all like proper, and I'm just like, dude, nah, like metal it up, dude. I don't care. That was some good times. That was some
Yeah.
good times. You haven't the three of you and Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon squared.
Yeah. More like cubed because
Brandon
Hastings
cubed.
as well.
Hey.
Hastings
Oh yeah,
as
that's
well.
right too.
Yeah.
Brandon. Holy shit, guys! I always forgot about that. There's while you were there was the it was a TJ, a Mav, and then 3 Brandons. Figure that out.
It was hell.
It was hell. The fact that and like whenever all of like us were there at once. Hey Brandon, yeah. Like I just like holy shit, I can't do this anymore. It was,
Didn't you eventually develop names for them, like Kid and then Long Hair Brandon and then just
Yeah, there was
Brandon?
the kid who was Brandon Oak. He was
Yeah.
the kid, and then Brandon was long hair Brandon,
Yeah.
and then Brandon Hastings. He was just Brandon.
Yeah,
because it was
he
like
was the OG Brandon.
he was the OG Brandon. He's been there since day one, bro. I've been there since day one, homie. Fucking goddamn music. So I have to ask because you're still like involved in the scene and stuff. Where it's like I'm not really like I don't really see anyone anymore. For obvious reasons, because I'm 24 years old. I'm not gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna come over and hang out with you guys, bro. Like, what's up?
Honestly, it'd
come
be cool
like,
if you did.
come like hang out. That's something that we always say. They're like, so like, you're gonna do a podcast, yeah, with a 17, 18-year-old, yeah. That's weird, dude. Why is that weird? I was like, it's like we're like hanging out and fucking talking about like, yeah, so like we're gonna go out to the bar and fucking pick up chicks. Like, it's like, nah, dude.
In
nah.
a couple years we can.
In a couple years, yeah. Wait till you're like 20 and then we'll talk. But then come over for a beer.
To be 19. Why the wait, man?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. When you're 19, we'll come over. We'll have a beer on my patio.
Couple drinks, bud.
Couple drinks, bud. Fucking goddamn it. Now listen. You know as well as anyone. Don't call me bud.
It was a tease.
That was yes, you did that on purpose.
It was like a poke at you.
Did anyone ever, like, before you like came into the store, like, did anyone ever tell you not to say that to me?
Nope, you told me not to say it. After I said it.
That was a dick. I was just like, don't call me bud, okay? I don't like it.
Yeah, you said it like you were kind of nice. You're like, okay, for real, don't call me bud. I really don't like it. I forgive you because you don't know, but like, don't do it again because then I will be pretty cheesed. Like now you know.
Well, it's like people would always be like, "Why is it?" It's like it's not an insult. I'm like, no, it's when someone who's like 10 years younger than me. It's like, "Yo, what's up, bud?" I'm like, "Okay, listen,
Yeah.
motherfucker. I am the one who calls you bud.
I am the one who knocks.
I am the one who knocks." But the point I was trying to make there, because you're still like in the scene and stuff and that.
Right.
When gigs closed, this is a question I've wanted to ask someone. When gigs closed, was there like any, and you be brutally honest, was there any like signs of it being missed necessarily?
Of gigs like being missed?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Like anybody that I know that's in a band or even like has gone into that store before would always like mention to me because they knew like I was close with you and like worked at the store, co-opted at the store for a while. They're like, man, like it sucks how like gigs close and everything. Like I know how many people like used to go in, like all your friends and like all the bands know TJ, and like that must suck for TJ because we know how much he liked working there.
Oh yeah, for sure. It still sucks ass, but it is what it is. It's always like I always say to people, like it's always something that's going to be up in conversation because it's like half the people I'm going to have on this podcast I met through the store. But
gigs, I'd say gigs has played a big part in any band from around here or even like Curtis area or maybe even Oshawa. I mean, because when they play here in Bowmanville, they know like TJ, like even at Battle of the Bands, everybody goes TJ.
Yeah,
TJ.
that was I wasn't going to bring that up.
You're a mascot,
I'm not bringing it up now. Something that I thought was funny was that year, last year's Battle of the Bands, Chris, when we were kind of hanging out, he's like, like, I'm going to be honest with you about something. I'm like, okay. He's like, people don't really, like, when they say, oh, so who's sponsors this year? Oh, this plays Gigs Music. TJ? Yeah, cool. Like, there's Gigs and TJ. And it's like, I always find it funny because like now I'm just like TJ, the fucking head porter at the Newcastle Travel Center. I'm just like whatever. Like I clean toilets and tell people how to clean toilets better. Like that's my life now, and it's great. I'm happy and everything. But it's like I'll like run into someone. Like I was telling you the story earlier. One of the kids who worked there,
right?
And he was just like, "What are you doing here?" And it's always funny when I like when I talk to someone about that. They'll be like, dude, you remember when you got that Shan at Battle of the Bands last year? And I'm like, yeah. And this past year, someone tried to start it, and like, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, it's okay. It was like, dude. And I'm like,
the beard. The beard's gone.
Yeah. I'm like, the beard's not here, guys. So that rhymed. So my cats are doing some shit over there. Yeah, that's what they do. They lay on each other. You guys can't see this, but currently we have this rocking chair in the corner of my living room that my cats lay on. And usually when one of them is laying on it, the other one comes over and like lays on top of him.
They're like licking each other right now. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah, well they're bathing each other.
Like on the face.
Yeah, they're bathing each other. That's what cats do, man. Fuck. What, making you uncomfortable? My cats are making you uncomfortable?
TJ, why don't you go work at a pet store?
Listen, I like my pets. My girlfriend works at a pet store. That's what she does. She's the pet person, not me.
Hey,
that's my cat.
You'll have an easy in then.
You'll have an easy in then. Fair enough. We're going all over the fucking place here. That's what happens on the Harder Show. There is no structure to this goddamn show. I have all these notes here, and I'm sitting there like, okay, we're going to talk about this. And I'm like, no, fuck it. Whatever. We're just going to talk. So the point kind of I was trying to make with that whole mentioning gigs and that, there are people I'll talk to, and they'll just be like, dude, like you are missed in the scene. And I'm like,
yeah, for real.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just funny. Like I always wanted to like when I was at the Battle of the Bands there a little bit, which we are also going to talk about that. Obviously, I kind of forgot to mention that. I'm there sitting there, and like all these people are coming up to me, and I'm like I didn't think anyone would fucking care. It's like, oh, what's up, dude? What's going on? Like, what's...
It's like, picture Battle of the Bands and like the Bowmanville music scene, or not even just Bowmanville, just like the Durham or Clarington or whatever. Think of that as like NHL Hockey Night in Canada, and you're Don Cherry.
I don't know if I'm Don Cherry, but
oh yeah, you're Don
Cherry.
Who's
the other dude?
Don't even know them.
Don't even know.
Exactly.
I'm like George Stropolophagus or whatever the fuck his name is.
No.
I'm Don Cherry.
You're
now
Don
listen
Cherry.
here, what you gotta do, see, is he's gotta come over here, and you're gonna come out in, Mav. You're gonna come out in with your guitar. Tune down low, you pussy. What are you tuning to?
Slow.
Hi?
Tune low, die slow.
Tune low, die slow, or tune low, play slow.
I like die slow. It sounds better.
Play slow is Crowbar, so they stole that from Crowbar.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Acacia Strain.
Sorry, Acacia Strain. I love you, fam, but nah.
I tried to represent, but I was shot down.
I was shot down. In this house, it is tune low, play slow.
Respectable.
Baritone or go home.
I like that one too.
That's going to be a t-shirt. Baritone or go home. Or tune low or go home. That's probably not tune low or go home, motherfucker. Shit. But obviously talking about tuning and stuff like that, I've never really asked you before. This is the perfect place to ask you because I'm asking you shit.
Sweet.
What really like started you on your whole like guitar playing journey?
Well, when I was a lot younger, I had a lot of different musical influences or musical environments. Like my mother, she would listen to a lot of poppier stuff. Like her favorite band is Queen, but she also listens to a lot of like Amanda Marshall, Gwen Stefani, like the Backstreet Boys, and I straight up do love the Backstreet Boys because of that.
What's wrong with that?
The biggest influences I had were from my dad, because he was a lot more passionate about making sure I enjoyed it and liked it, and like he'd start me off easy with like something like Nickelback or Motley Crue and stuff, and like I got into those bands a lot. And then he showed me Audio Slave, and like Audio Slave today is still like a good jam.
Love that fucking band.
Oh, for sure. That self-titled album, amazing. But one day he said to me, we were in the in this old Jeep that we had, that we'd take the doors off of and just drive places. Sick. And like that was my dad's thing. Like we'd drive places in the Jeep all the time, windows off, right, and the doors off. It had the zip up plastic windows on it.
Oh yeah, okay.
So you know it's an old one. And he said, I'm gonna play something that's gonna blow your mind and you're gonna laugh. But he put in the Black Album by Metallica. Dude, and Enter Sandman came on. It was the first time I'd ever heard it. And when that pounding, like that first riff comes in, like when those drums came on, I was looking at my dad like, this is badass. And as the album went on, it's Sad But True, and What's Next, Holier Than Thou, and like all these songs that were just like really intense to me. I was like, this is awesome. I need to hear more of this. And like he showed me the rest of their music, and then we went and actually got to see some of these bands that he'd been showing me for so long in concert. And the first concert I actually went to was a Nickelback concert.
That's sick. Yo, like no hate on Nickelback in this house. Like I fucking Nickelback's my first favorite band. I have all their albums straight up.
I just know they're pretty frowned upon and joked about in the scene.
Yeah. Oh, people suck.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I dig Nickelback. There's some songs that have been like memed up and stuff, and like people are like just made a total joke that it's hard to even enjoy the song, like Photograph. Like, look at this graph. Like,
look at this graph.
Yeah, it's like, damn. Like, I liked that song
bad.
Before. Now it's gone. But
so
I actually saw them 3 times, and on the 3rd time that I saw them, or maybe the 2nd, I went a little crazy with air guitar, and it seemed like I was pretty on with the air guitar. Like I wasn't just moving my fingers crazy. Like I had a sense of rhythm and that kind of stuff. That's what my dad told me. And a guy came up to my father and said, "Hey man, your son rocks. If you don't buy him a guitar, then I will." And
that's sick.
And my dad took that to heart, and my guess from my parents talked about it. And for my next birthday, I got a Squier Stratocaster, just like the classic black and white Eric Clapton get up.
Oh yeah, three single coil.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. If it was actually a classic Eric Clapton, it would.
It wasn't an Eric Clapton, but just like the way.
Oh, like same vibe. Yeah.
It. I think it actually had like the double coil at the bottom,
like the humbucker at the bottom.
Yeah. And then I played that guitar for a while. I had a lot of trouble actually. I had trouble learning Paranoid by Black Sabbath when I started out. It was a lot harder than it seemed, right? It was the first riff, the down, 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 down. Yeah, that messed me up. The rest of it was good, but it was also like trying to remember chord progressions and that kind of stuff. It was just beginners, right?
Yeah, stuff that takes time to build, like, obviously.
Yeah, I'd say that was... There was a couple years where I sort of stopped. Like, I had guitar lessons from a guitar teacher whenever I'd go up to my dad's. Like, every Sunday I'd have an hour-long lesson. And, yeah, it was just, like, for a while, I guess I wasn't kind of feeling it because, like, you know, kids go through phases and they like different music for a while. And, like, I've always liked metal. Like, Metallica, I'd say, has always been the band for me. Like, James Hetfield is probably my biggest influence ever because I just remember my dad took me to see them when I was in the 6th grade, and I just remember watching them, and when they were coming out, Ecstasy of Gold playing, they come out and play the first song off Death Magnetic, their new album, and I was just watching James, and I was like, he's the coolest guy ever.
James Hetfield, yeah.
I need to be that guy. Like, I want to be him.
I need to become James Hetfield.
Yeah, I want to be like him and not look weird trying to be like him. So I need to get my own band and do stuff like him on stage.
That was like when I was talking earlier about like when I first time I met you and stuff. Like Metallica was like most kids.
You don't like Metallica, then you're a bitch. That was my.
If you don't like listen, if you don't like Metallica, at least one or two songs, I don't even know what to say to you anymore. Like I'm just
you might not be human.
Yeah, like there's probably something wrong with your brain. Like
yeah.
In all honesty, no offense to all those people out there who don't like Metallica, but there's something wrong with you. Please get yourself checked out. Like at least one or two songs.
They have every album, like except for like the first 3 represents a different genre or subgenre of metal and rock music.
Exactly.
Like they can do something for everybody. Like they got Sad But True to Metal Militia to Mama Said to like King Nothing. Like it goes all over the place. Dude, and it's just nuts.
Yeah. Those last 2 off my favorite Metallica album. So what's your favorite Metallica album then? If you had to pick one.
Honestly, that's a hard question because there's a couple albums that I'd listen to more, but there's ones that I think are better, and then there's ones that I like the most. Like
as far as the one you always go back to.
I listen to Death Magnetic a lot because I like James's clean singing rather like his yelling. I like the way he clean vocals on Death Magnetic, like especially on Unforgiven 3. I like how calm and sort of he does like higher pitch stuff, and it just is really calming. I think it's really nice and fun to listen to. If it's not that one, then it's definitely Ride the Lightning.
Yeah,
always come back to that.
That's always
one.
A good fucking the when it's funny you say like you go from Death Magnetic to Ride the Lightning. It's funny the contrast there. I'm talking to someone who's a metalcore gent band and talking about so I really like his clean singing on this record. It's very nice and solid. Like I'm just like really interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. You learn so much about people when you just talk to them. That's what this show is all about. But
I mean, I like to if you know me. I mean, I'll give anything a try. Most people I know, it's like I'll listen to anything but country, and even then, like I still appreciate some country, and like even when it's on, I'll be like like get this off, put something else on. But then like after a bit, I'll be like, you know what, I'm kind of feeling it. It's not bad. Like I appreciate. If I don't like it, I'll still appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah, sure. I mean, same with me. Like I got my one buddy who like he was like my intro into like the metal world, big Lamb of God guy and stuff, and he's like this total like shredder guy,
right?
But like he's only into country now. So it's fucking hilarious. So it's like he'll be like, check out this riff I wrote, and I'm like, I'm all like pumped, and it's like, and I'm like, are you kidding me? What the fuck, dude? But so like you gotta appreciate everything, and it's good for that because when you look at what you do in the band, which we'll talk about in a little bit here,
it gives good contrast in songwriting.
Exactly. Like you guys don't just sound like a generic fucking metalcore band.
Yeah, it's not like all 5 of us just listen to Bring Me the Horizon or Mice and Men.
We only listen to Of Mice and Men, and that's it. If you don't only listen to Mice and Men, you're a fucking pussy.
Yeah, like The Flood was the only album any of us ever heard.
This is the only album I've ever heard.
We were going to listen to their new album, Restoring Force, but we were told not to, so we
told not to.
So we just stuck with The Flood.
Mav told us not to, so we didn't. So like... we'll talk more about Fear the Unknown later. I have a whole bunch of fucking questions for you on that, but
Right.
obviously you were talking about guitar and how you started in that. So you had the black Stratocaster. You were taking some lessons, kind of, you know.
I was feeling it at the beginning. I was like, it was excited to start, but after a while, I found out how much of a commitment and how much you actually have to put in to learn guitar and become better at it. Right? It's a process. That's
It's a lot of work. I always tell kids that it's a lot of work to sit down and learn how to play guitar.
Yep. I'm glad I picked that over bass because bass would be definitely hard on my fingers, and people would not care about me as much.
Shots fired at Ellie and fucking Adam.
Yeah.
And John. What are the bass players do I know? John, Adam, Ellie. Zach, of course.
Little skinny guy.
A little skinny guy.
The lanky emo. That's his
lanky,
trademark.
That's the lanky
emo
guy.
TM.
Oh, man. Obviously talking about Adam Mayhew.
Mayhew.
Of Fear the Unknown's bass player.
The Vape
Ali.
God.
Sorry?
The Vape God.
The Vape God?
That's Adam.
He isn't vape, does he?
Yep, I do too.
What the
Ali used to vape. What
the hell happened to you guys, man? What happened when I left? Like, just all this.
We're in the scene, man.
We're in the scene, bruh.
Vape Squad.
The Vape Squad. Oh,
Also
shit.
associated with the Shocker Squad. We'll leave it at that.
Well, that's a conversation for another day.
Sure is.
But so, talking about that bad, but so when you, I can see the look on your face.
I'm sitting right here. Anyways.
Oh shit. So, when did you really first start, I guess, writing riffs, and what was the next guitar you kind of got into? Just talk a little bit more about your journey on the guitar.
I think once I started getting back into guitar, probably about a year later, and year and some change, I started taking lessons again and getting more into it. Over time, in that period where I just wasn't feeling it, I would pick it up every now and then, just mess around and try to play things. And I was like, you know what, Dad? I'll try it again. I noticed you obviously put a lot of money and stuff into it, and I'll try it again. And so I started getting back into it. I learned Iron Man by Black Sabbath, and I remember when I played that, I played the opening riff. I was like, man, I'm badass now.
I'm officially a badass.
I remember playing that, and I looked at my teacher. I went, "That's awesome.
I'm the shit."
Sick. Yeah,
I can teach you now.
And then he came to me with a song. He said, "I think you might want to learn this one. I think it'll be fun." And it was Inner Sandman, because that song had a lot of sentimental value at that time. It still does. Obviously, when it comes on shuffle, or if I'm listening to Metallica, I don't go, let's listen to Inner Sandman. Or I'll request a song by Metallica on the radio. I'll go, let me hear Inner Sandman, please, because that's their best one. That's the best one, the greatest.
Yeah.
But no, we learned that song, and I just love the feeling. I would learn that, and I was like, this is awesome. I can play along. I put my stereo on and play along to it, and I was like, that's so much fun. I gotta keep doing this. And from then on, I'd say it just kept getting more interested in it, and my goal was to learn every Metallica song in their entire catalog, and I'm still on the way.
You're still on that journey.
Yeah. I used to print off a lot of tabs after a little while, once I was able to sort of learn music on my own without assistance from a teacher or just anybody for that matter. And yeah, it was good. I got some new guitars. I got another Strat, but a Fender American-made Strat that was a lot nicer than my older one.
I didn't know you had the American-made Strat.
Yep, it's the red one. You might have seen it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
Really nice guitar, glossed up neck, and I was like, man, this is hypo. I got it for my birthday. I was like, this is dope. Then, a couple years after that, my dad actually bought it for himself, the Les Paul that I use to this day.
Oh, that gold top?
Yep. He ordered a standard gold top, but they mixed up his order with a custom shop or something, that it was a custom made guitar, and it's worth a lot more than what he ordered. His was about $600, and he got something that was probably about $1,100.
Holy shit!
It was
it's a good mix up.
Virtually the same guitar, but just what was inside.
The little things,
right?
the wood and that makes a world of difference.
The back is a little different, just a cherry wood and all
Yeah.
that. But yeah, his fingers, like over the years, he's hurt his hands and stuff.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah,
So
sure.
and his fingers are really big, and he was having trouble picking it up, and it was difficult for him. So after a while, he just was saying like, it's going to be really hard, and like my fingers are a lot bigger than they need to be or than they should be for this, and so he just sort of let me use the guitar, and since then it's basically become my guitar.
Yeah, like when I think of you, I think of that gold top.
Yeah, I'd like to get the new guitar right. Like I like to move on to another brand and stuff that's more ideal for our style of music. But I will always, I would never want to sell that guitar.
Oh, absolutely. No, never do. If there's one thing I can say, don't sell the guitars that have any kind of sentimental value to. Because I have done that, and it sucks ass.
Well,
when
lucky you
realize.
found yours, didn't you? Right?
Well, the Flying V, but there's ones I did sell that I never found. My Hagstrom, my baritone. Still have not tracked down my baritone.
Yikes.
To this day. It bums me out. But you have a snake bite too, don't you? Or you had a snake bite?
Oh yeah, I got that. I think 2 birthdays ago. So my 16th birthday. It was a great night. I sort of saw it coming. Funny story. I remember the first time I saw that guitar, and it was in a magazine in about 2008. It was one of the last pages of Revolver magazine, and it was just him. It was an advertisement for his EMG signature pickups, and it was just a awesome picture from down below, just you totally showing off the guitar, and I just went, whoa, I need that guitar one day. And a couple years later, we found it in a guitar store in Newmarket, which we always drove by, and it used to be a bank or something that was weird, and they bought the store and made it into a music place, and it's a very successful store now. Like, it's got a lot of stuff like filled, like you look up and there's guitars like lining the walls, and it's just nuts. And I remember they had this one wall that just, I recognized so many signature guitars. Like they had Sinister Gates guitar, and I was like, whoa. Then they had like Alexi Leos or Leos.
Lexi Leho, yeah.
Or Lexi Leos.
Showed the bottom.
Yeah, they had his the black on black one with like the ghost stripes on it, or the ghost whatever he's got.
Yeah,
on
like the Lex V, whatever it is. Yeah, that half cut kind of thing.
Yeah, like the Vanguard sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, the Vanguard or the Rhodes. I've never heard anyone call it a Vanguard. You're the only one I've ever heard call it that.
Well, it's like,
because I know what it is,
Yeah.
but like most people are like the Rhodes guitar, and I'm like,
Yeah.
call it a Vanguard. It's what it is.
hey, well, it's good to know, right?
Oh, absolutely. But you still have that. Why don't you play that live? I've always wanted to ask you.
I feel like it's just sort of not like, sure, it's got like, it sounds, honestly it probably sounds a lot better for our music because of those EMGs, the active pickups, but I don't know, I just feel like the shape and like it's just a little harder to do what I like to do on stage with that guitar. And I also value that guitar a lot more than the Les Paul. Like I feel like if I broke the snakebite, I'd be really sad, and my dad would probably cut my head off because that cost him like $1,300. So.
Holy shit! Yeah, I wouldn't. That's why I figured you didn't play just because you were worried about getting damaged or whatever. It's a big guitar.
Oh, it's huge. Like it's hard to sit down with, like because of the big thing on the end. You have to put your arm up.
It's made for standing up and playing. But so do you have your eyes on? We'll just keep talking about gear for a little while. You got your eye on any guitar specific right now you kind of want, or a little bit of fantasy shopping?
Yeah, actually, I like to add things to my cart and then just leave them there for a couple months and then come back and go, oh yeah, I wanted this.
You do the same thing I do. That's the best way to do it, dude. Just put it, like I would always just say to kids when they come in, I want that guitar. I'm like, now listen, play this guitar, play the shit out of it. Now go home and come back in like 2 days and let me know if you still want it. And 9 times out of 10, they'd be like, I kind of like this other one better. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people are indecisive, but impulse buying is not the way to go. Trust me. But so, what's kind of some random ones you're looking at, or?
If I the next the next guitar I would want
the
to
next
buy.
car.
I don't even got my G.
I haven't even got my G.
The next guitar I would want to buy would definitely be the LTD TE, I think 107, I think it is, which is the 7-string model of the Telecaster that they have. I played it in a Long and McQuaid in Pickering one day when I was actually going to just get strings for my other guitar, and it was awesome. I never played an LTD before, and I just thought it was just wonderful. And I was like, I've always liked the Telecaster shape, and so I saw it, and it's a little different. And it's like usually the Telecasters you see are Fender or something, and it's like classy, nice wood finish, like, and it has like, it doesn't look metal or anything, right? And then I see this LTD, and it's like blacked out, matte black, and I'm feeling it. It's like, whoa. Like,
looks metal as shit. Unless you're Steven Simpson.
Yeah.
was he playing his Telecaster at Battle of the Bands? I feel like was he playing that, or was he playing it for one song? Or?
Oh no.
I feel like I saw it for some reason.
Taylor was playing his.
That's
his
what it
Fender
was.
that
I thought someone was playing it, and I was like, that thing sounds sick though. Like,
yeah, like it's,
those P90s really fucking beef it up. But,
yeah.
So I don't mean to go off on a tangent here. But that's just what I do.
That's good.
So you're it's that 407, I think. That
yeah,
Telecaster,
you might be
the
right.
407. I'm probably right.
Yeah.
I'm probably right.
I spent a lot of time on that website.
Yeah, I spent most of my days on the ESP website. But is there so you want to go the 7-string route potentially?
I think it would be good because I listen to a lot of music in the metalcore, deathcore genre that I'd like to play, and maybe write something sort of inspired that way in the future, so that it gives some color, right? It's not all just straight drop B for every album or every song. Even just it was like a couple of off songs on an album that were just like real heavy ones, or like just different approach at a song, that'd be fine with me. Just personal, more personal than anything.
Yeah, for sure. So you still won't go the baritone route?
I
couldn't sell you on the baritone.
I definitely would consider it, but I mean, I think the 7-string would just be the easiest for me.
Especially if you're using all 7 strings.
Right,
that's what I always say to guys. It's like, if you're not going to use all 7 strings, don't get one.
Yeah.
Like I always say to Cody, Cody's the lead guitar player in Fear the Unknown. He's a shred master.
Right.
But if you ask him, he's okay. Fucking guy.
Not if I ask him.
Not if you ask him.
No, if I ask him, it's I'm fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm fucking awesome. Yeah, anytime I ever call him, he's just like, yo, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that. Really, I do. Like, he's all modest and shit, but deep down,
he knows.
That's
the way it is. You gotta be that way.
Yeah, deep down, he knows. But when you're talking with your bandmates, you talk shit, because that's just how it is. We'll talk more about your bandmates later in that, but I always would say to him, like, you need a 7-string. Because the way he has his guitar set up and stuff, I'm like, bro, you need a 7-string. So I set up his guitars.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, like, you need a 7-string.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like if you guys go the 7-string route, could be a cool thing too, right? Gives you a little bit more freedom to, if you want to randomly throw a song in there with a chord.
Yeah.
You can do that,
We also really want to go a lot lower in tuning too. Like, we'd like to hit maybe drop A or G sharp maybe. Just
that's low.
Yeah, G sharp is pretty sweet. Like, not G sharp, it's like
not all the time, but like,
yeah, it's like, it's really low, but it's like, I think that's the last tasteful and sort of
G sharp,
noticeable. Like,
you're in
tone.
like Mike Mashok territory at that point.
Yeah.
Like there's
I don't want to stumble into territories that I do not belong in.
Yeah.
So just want to keep it.
I swear to God, if you guys go to like drop fucking like Q, so drop Z tuning, I'm gonna start losing it. It's gonna full golf me randomly. Yo, who the fuck is this? What did I fucking tell you? You sound like Whitechapel. What the fuck is going on over there?
You got something against Whitechapel?
No, I fucking love Whitechapel. But I gotta be honest, I'm not a big fan of the new album.
What, Our Endless War?
No, the new album, Mark of the Blade.
Oh, I haven't heard. I've heard one single.
It's
from
good,
it.
but like, I miss it's. I don't know. I gotta give it another chance. I'm not hating on Whitechapel. I love Whitechapel. Our Endless War, I fucking love.
That's a good album.
I love that song. Do that. Fucking good shit, man.
What song that is.
No, that's Endless War. The chorus. I don't do metal vocals, but whatever. Fuck it. So, what like right now, if I was to say to you, hey, so like, what is like the bands that influence you most? You would say, or what's your like favorite bands, all that kind of bullshit.
I do a weird thing where I separate my favorite bands into 2 different groups, maybe 3 sometimes. I separate the ones that I listen to a lot now, so like bands like Fit for a King, that's probably my favorite band. And then I've got bands like Devil Wears Prada, For Today. For Today is a big influence on our first album. I wrote a lot of the music on that, so any of the low down chugs you hear, that's probably me.
That's all you?
Yeah.
If it's low and chuggy, it's Mav.
Yeah. But
if it's high and prissy, it's Cody. You know? If it's high and prissy.
Just look at us, and whoever you think of when you hear a riff,
it's
you're
probably
right.
them.
Yeah.
If there's major shredding going on, it's probably Cody.
Yeah.
If there's heavy, chunky ass riffs, it's probably Mav.
Yeah, I'm happy with the chugs. You know, there's some leads like I'll write them. I'm like, man, Cody, could I just please play this? Like, I really like it, and it's fun to play. So I'm gonna play it. Just so you know.
At the end of the day,
like, I just wanted your approval. I don't need it. I just want it.
I don't need it, but I so like. I have all the shit I want to ask you about Fairly Unknown, let's just fuck it. Let's just gonna do it. So like, talking about all the influence and that kind of bullshit, it is what it is. Is there a band leader for Fairly Unknown?
Can you like go off on that a little bit, like explain that?
Say like is there someone who, because good bands, I always say people are a unit. Good bands are a majority vote on things. If you're like, hey boys, we're looking at doing these T-shirts, which are awesome by the way, but you did not bring one, so I'm pissed. You gotta hook a brother up, man.
I forgot, man.
Goddamn,
I was thinking about McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm not. Fair enough. But like, hey guys, we're gonna do this T-shirt. Here's our design. Does everyone like it? And
yeah, we do that.
You know, and if one person in the band says no, but the other 4 or 5 say yes.
Sometimes it depends. Like,
it depends what it is. If something like a T-shirt design, I feel like it's like everyone needs to agree on it.
Yeah, because most of us want to wear our own merch. Like, that's what was one of the big things for me. Like, I don't wear a lot of white stuff because, you know, fat guy and white is not
you're talking to a fellow fat guy. I hear you, bro.
Man.
I hear you. High five that shit. Prop that shit, too.
Yeah, big time.
Big fat guy life.
Yeah.
Hashtag fat guy life.
But, yeah, it's not my favorite. So sometimes I do things where I want to make the shirt that I like the most on a black or something.
Yeah,
that's
for
like
sure.
Me. Just something that I'll like to wear and rep. Like, I personally like the floral design better than our space design, but I wanted to make the space design really cool and good for people who will wear either, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, it's not like the floral one is totally way better than the blue one, but it's just, they're both really good, but to me it serves my...
But like, it is better, is what you're saying.
To me it's better.
Yeah, I know.
But I didn't want to put more effort into one than the other, right?
Yeah, because I like both the shirts, like they're both sick, but the black one,
yeah,
I mean, that's what I'm gonna get, you know what I'm saying? That's the one I'm buying at the merch table, you know. But talking all about Fear the Unknown and that, can you give us any kind of a little update on the EP? So is it an EP or a record?
I would say it's more of a full length.
How many songs you guys got?
There's 11 tracks.
So it's full record then. Cool.
But 3 of them are, you could call it an EP, but because there's only 8 tracks, but the other 3 are intros.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. That's cool.
So like either or really works. Yeah.
Kind of proggy. That's cool.
It follows a storyline that we have.
So
like
it is a concept album.
Exactly.
See, that's a whole other thing I didn't even talk about.
Termination is the first in that trilogy.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's if you've ever heard of the book 1984 by George Orwell, it follows that a little bit. Or Terminator. You could base it off Terminator.
Either or.
So basically, it's like a really powerful force, like more of like a government sort of thing. We don't like to make a government because, say, we get picked up by somebody and they're like, hey, these people talk and make a lot of shit about government stuff. Like, that's been done and it's not really good. Like, and they're also saying, hey, we're Big Brother. Like, don't want to put that in one of our songs.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, next. Like, it's not going to be good for record sales, whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
or really good depending on how you look at it.
Well, yeah, you look at bands like Stray from the Path in our scene. Like, they're not huge, but like I'd say they're well known and respected. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like we call them the unknown, so it's like relatable and it's like you know what we mean as well, and it's also our name. So the unknown would be the Big Brother figure, and they they sort of control things. They if you oppose them or think of opposing their will or whatever, then you will literally just be terminated. Like, that's just the end of it. And then there's retaliation, which is the second, and it's taken from the standpoint of we call them the Legion, so it's like the resistance sort of, and it's fighting back against that and for the people that are they're not anybody's side, they're just standing, like they're just
neutral
waiting,
parties.
Yeah, they're just waiting for everything to blow over. They just want to live their lives, right? And the standpoint of those people is taken in destruction, and it's like in the chorus it says, "We all watch as a rubble falls around us. We must endure it all," and it's just basically they're wanting to wait it out, and they it's basically just a war. Just honestly, just watch Terminator and just assume.
Just watch Terminator and you got it. So
I like a lot of Terminator.
Yeah, well, hey, that's sick. Like, so it's like there's a concept here and there's a story here.
Right.
Now, who thought of this concept and who wrote the lyrics and like all that kind of shit?
The lyrics are written by myself, Nathan, and a lot obviously Connor. The concept was 100% Connor. He it was his idea to put that together. It was more of his idea just to do one song, I believe, and that was Termination that we wrote. And so we just wrote it from the perspective of the bad guys. And I just went, hey, like, why don't we make a big concept out of this?
Yeah,
like, make a theme.
Explore this.
Yeah, like, so it's like cool. Like, there's an atmosphere to this, like, this record and whatever. And so we made Retaliation and Destruction, try to make them all rhyme a little bit. Termination, retaliation, destruction is kind of like the off
Yeah,
one.
sure.
But like, there's not another word that we could think of that would go with it that ended in Asian. So we're like, whatever. Asians. Destruct Asians.
Destruct the Asians.
Yeah.
They just sit there going, what the fuck? What do we do? We do nothing. Why does this Fear the Unknown? So Fear the Unknown, the band name stems from that idea.
Yeah. Well, actually, the idea stemmed from the name after. Like, the name was thought of by Connor when he joined the band. We were still sort of stumbling on a solid name.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But.
Yeah. Oh God. But yeah. The lyrics are written almost, like, probably about 80% by Connor. I wrote some lyrics for a couple tracks. I wrote almost all of Snakeskin. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of the verses and the end parts. He put in some of the chorus. And Nathan, usually when for our first couple songs, we just would have a practice, and then the three of us would sit down, and Nathan would sort of spectate, and me and Connor would bounce off of each other. And Nathan would pipe in every now and then.
Almost like he's like kind of the
he's like overseeing.
He's like the overseer of what's going on with the lyrics and that kind of shit.
It's like we're having the ideas, and it's like somebody else that has an opinion on it.
It's almost like he's like the filter.
Exactly.
So it's a group effort. It's not just one guy doing everything.
Yeah,
basically.
For sure.
So as far as a band leader, like say someone who, if there needs to be someone to make a decision on something that the band can't agree on, like there's someone who just goes, "Okay, boys, this is what we're doing."
That's definitely Nathan.
Yeah,
Nathan is definitely the neutral in the band. If there's ever an argument or something, it's usually between myself, Connor, or Adam. Me and Connor are very stubborn people, and if we like an idea, we will tell each other to go fuck ourselves over it. We've had a lot of little babbles and stuff about stuff, and like it usually resides in, like, sometimes people have to compromise, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's
usually
a band sometimes.
It's just probably our biggest fights would be over merch or lyrics of songs. Like Connor would say, "Hey, I write a lyric," I'd be like, "That's dumb as hell." And he'd be like,
"That's dumb as hell."
Yeah, and Nathan doesn't like to get involved, so he sometimes doesn't totally voice what he's thinking. And later on, like, we'll find out that he actually thought, like, he liked the idea of that somebody didn't like, or like whatever, and that could have made things a lot easier. And it's just like, man, come on, like,
come on, man.
Don't mean to pipe on my boy Nathan, but like,
it needs to be a referee.
Yeah, man.
When there's a band thing, like, you're always gonna have arguments and shit.
Right, of course.
That's normal.
At the end of the day, we still all love each other, and we're all buddies.
Mm-hmm. that's the thing is, form a band with people you like.
Yeah,
or
of
else
course.
you will realize very quickly how annoying it is.
You know what I mean?
When you're not friends with the guys first. That's
Yeah.
kind of the main way to do it. All right, that's what we're going to stop the podcast for today, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this part 1 of my conversation with Mav. I really dug it. I think Mav's he's a great dude. Has a lot of funny stories in that. And I think the second part's kind of a little more, a little funnier. Telling some stories and stuff like that, but I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well. Be sure to check Fear the Unknown out on Facebook. Keep an eye out on them for their album that should be coming out hopefully this summer. This summer, from what Mav told me, and definitely keep your eyes peeled for part 2 of this conversation with Mav. It will be going up Sunday. Be sure to share this around to all your friends. I appreciate every single time anyone shares and gets new eyes and ears on The Harder Show. It is always much appreciated, regardless of how you are listening, whether you're on the SoundCloud, whether you're on the iTunes, whether you're on YouTube. Be sure to go ahead and follow, subscribe. I always appreciate it. If you're listening on the iTunes, be sure to leave a rating and a comment review on The Harder Show, whether it's good or bad. It doesn't have to be good, you know. I can take criticisms, of course. We still have the 3 very positive reviews right now on the iTunes, so it's very appreciated. If you're on the SoundCloud, be sure to give us a like on this podcast here. Be sure to leave a comment. If you're on the YouTube, be sure to like the video or dislike it if you hated it, and comment to boot. I always love talking to you guys about absolutely anything, so never ever hesitate if you ever have a question about anything or a comment. Let me know. This is as much your show as it is mine. So thank you all so much for tuning in today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. I cannot stress that enough. It was a blast to make. And I will catch you guys next time on The Harder Show. Take it easy.